Ancient female figurines created by a Bronze Age culture and sheltered by boar tusks have been unearthed in a cave in Ukraine. A team of archaeologists have found 5 clay female figurines hidden inside a hole in a wall in Vertiba cave in the Borchiv region of western Ukraine. Dating to the 1st millennium BC, the stylized figurines have been linked to the people known as the Cucuteni Tripilia. The culture dominated a wide swathe of Eastern Europe, encompassing modern Ukraine, Moldova and Romania from the late Neolithic to the Chalcolithic or Copper Age from 6000 to 2750 BC. The new finds are posited to be evidence of an ancient Boar cult. Boar remains have previously but rarely been discovered at Tripillian sites linked with possible ancient funerary customs. Mostly, however, the culture tended to use other animals in ritual ceremonies, such as dogs, sheep, goats and cattle, possibly due to their lifestyle as ancient farmers. But it seems those who frequented the Vertiba cave were different. They are thought to have had a closer association with boars, a fearsome animal that is related to, but is far more wild and unpredictable than modern domesticated pigs. The boar aspect has ancient roots and continued into the Bronze Age, Iron Age and even medieval heraldry as a sign of strength, power and ferociously loyal protection. Other excavations at the same cave by the team unearthed jewellery and tools for making pottery that were fashioned from the beast's teeth. In 2016, the team discovered a small boar figure made from the same type of clay as the newly discovered female statuettes. The researchers say that the Cucuteni Tripilia were quite happy to recycle and revive older cultural practices and would reuse pottery styles from older cultures. It was speculated that the finds were an example of an ancient boar-worshipping cult that carried out its rituals in the labyrinthine depths of the cave. But it could have a darker explanation. Caves themselves were seen throughout prehistory as representing the underworld with powerful associations with the dead. The figurines themselves are not unusual, as representations of female entities, or perhaps deities, were not rare in Cucuteni Tripilia artefacts, and the culture may have had a strong matriarchal or goddess-led society. The Cucuteni Tripilia were highly advanced for their time and were known for their impressive structures and organised settlements. They were the largest settlements in Neolithic Europe, with some containing as many as 3,000 structures, housing 20,000 to 46,000 people, gigantic by the standards of the time. Archaeologist Mikhailo Sakatsky of Borchiv Regional Museum said of the new discoveries, female figurines are not rare in Tripillian contexts, and hordes of figurines are known, but these were sheltered by the tusks of a wild boar. First discovered in 1829, Vertiba Cave is a 5.6-mile long or 9-kilometre linear-shaped warren that features a complex maze of tunnels, many that are too small to effectively navigate. Since the cave's discovery, archaeologists have unearthed multiple artefacts, including figurines made of clay in the likeness of humans, animals and apparent goddesses. They have also found tools made from stone and animal bones, copper knives, and decorative or ritual jewellery made from bones and shells. These finds were made in 3 distinct excavation layers. This shows that the Tripillian people used the cave intermittently rather than occupying it continuously. So was it a bolt hole for when things went wrong, or a sacred space to seek divine intervention? Archaeologists have discovered a range of artefacts from different eras of the long-running culture, suggesting that Vertiba Cave was a site of ritual activity or other uses for a period of around 800 years. The declining centuries of the Cucuteni Tripilia culture were marred by widespread violence, which could have been as a result of encounters with warlike groups like the Indo-European Yamnaya entering the region from the steppe to the east. The 5 female figurines date to this later period, when those who made them may have experienced this climactic era. I can't help but speculate whether they may represent some desperate attempt to appeal to older deities to protect and defend them from the ensuing chaos as their once magnificent culture faded away. Considering the fall of the Cucuteni Tripilia culture, Marija Gimbutas, a Lithuanian archaeologist and author, suggested in her 1956 book, The Prehistory of Eastern Europe, that the Yamnaya were the cause. The creator of the so-called kurgan hypothesis believed that the supposedly peaceful goddess-centric cultures of what she dubbed Old Europe were swept away by the rampaging Indo-Europeans. She wrote, "The process of Indo-Europeanization was a cultural, not physical transformation. It must be understood as a military victory in terms of successfully imposing a new administrative system, language and religion upon the indigenous groups." The contrast between the Tripillians and the Yamnaya was stark, and the peaceniks did not stand a chance. The archaeological record indicates the Cucuteni Tripilia worshipped a female fertility goddess and used clay fetishes in fertility rituals. They also employed sigils for protection against evil spirits or human enemies. The evidence we have for Yamnaya beliefs is rather different. They worshipped a male war god and most likely propitiated the deity with the ritual human sacrifice of captured enemies. There is also scant evidence of weapons among the Cucuteni Tripilia, whereas the Yamnaya had an array of weapons and domesticated horses that they used to mount devastating lightning raids on other territories. However, the pace of change may have been more gradual. A 2020 study called Gene Flow from Steppe Individuals into Cucuteni Tripilia Associated Populations indicates long-standing contacts and gradual admixture, and published in the journal Scientific Reports stated, support for a mixture of late CTC, Cucuteni Tripilia complex, with the neighbouring early Bronze Age Yamnaya culture exists in the archaeological record. But it added, the genetic findings presented in this study, i.e. the different step proportions in the 4 Moldovans, are in agreement with ongoing contacts as well as with gradual admixture and a slow change in cultural expression rather than total replacement. However, this hypothesis challenges a previously published scenario of Yamnaya horsemen massively migrating in war into Central Europe. Either way, the Cucuteni Tripilia culture surely collapsed. So was the retreat to Vertebra Cave and to older religious practices a last act of the spiritual leaders of these frightened and ultimately doomed people? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and most importantly subscribe. And you can also support the channel on Subscribestar via the link in the description. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.